Hello everyone and welcome. I am the Dungeon Master. This is the Danger Club and we're back, my friends. Now we haven't really made any content on YouTube for a little while and there's a good reason for that. Over the last few months our industry has been completely consumed by, first of all, the Paizo accountability situation and then the movement to unionize Paizo. I'm not going to go tremendously into all of the details surrounding all of that because I think there are better and more informed voices than mine surrounding the whole thing. In fact, I'm going to put some links in the description so you can read up on it yourself if you want. But from my point of view, it didn't feel right to keep just reviewing Paizo products as if nothing had happened while all of that was going on. So, what has happened recently, however, is the formation of the United Paizo Workers Union, the first union of its kind in the tabletop gaming industry. And Paizo, to their credit, have voluntarily recognized that union. We have a union. It's been a huge amount of work by a lot of people and a lot of sacrifice by a lot of people, but we're in a better place for it. It means that the people we love for making these games can get back to doing the things we love them for, which is making these games. But they can do it in a way that is sustainable and that creates a worthwhile career for all of the people involved. Top work all around. It also means I get to start making reviews again. Let's do it. So what are we going to do for our first review back? There's been a lot of big releases in the last month or so. You know, we've had Tech Revolution, we've had Guns and Gears, we've had Lost Omens Grand Bazaar, a lot of big books, but we're not going to do any of those. You might have guessed, of course, we're going to be talking a little bit about Starfinder today, and we're actually going to be talking about something which is kind of linked to the reason that this channel has been so quiet for a little while. Now, if you followed the Paizo accountability story, you will know that a lot of it really kicked off when somebody called Diego Valdez walked out of Paizo in support of his co-worker Sarah Marie. It was the whole story that kind of kicked everything off. Now, I don't know Diego personally, but from what I've seen on reactions online and the outpouring of love and support that came in the wake of that, it's clear that Diego had a tremendously positive impact, or has had a tremendously positive impact on a lot of lives during the time he's worked at Paizo. What I didn't know is that prior to leaving, Diego had just written his very first Starfinder Society scenario. And about a week ago, I got a message from my buddy Nostrix, and it just said, you need to read Diego's adventure. You need to have a look at it. And so I downloaded a copy, I gave it a read, and wow. So today, for our return to YouTube, we are going to be reviewing Starfinder Society 408, Precious Cargo by Diego Valdez. If you've never played Starfinder Society, then essentially it's a massive ongoing campaign with multiple GMs that you can turn up to any convention or gaming store anywhere in the world with a character and sit down and have a game and be a part of that story. That's the idea of it. However, if you are not a Society player, if you've never played Society, do not worry for the sake of this review, because this adventure does not require you to know anything about anything. It's not connected to the main Starfinder Society story. It's a standalone. So just think of it as a sort of standalone adventure for levels 1 to 4. It takes about 4 to 5 hours to play. And that's about it. That's all you need to know. You can jump in with your gaming group in the middle of your campaign and play this adventure. It is available from Paizo.com. It costs $5.99 of your American cents. The adventure picks up with your heroes on their starship on their way back from wherever, from a previous mission, from a spa break. Is it just me, or do Starfinder players go on a lot of spa breaks? Mine always seem to. Maybe it's my games. But while you're out there, you get a distress call from an unknown ship, from a freighter that is lost out in space. It is an automated freighter piloted by a virtual intelligence, and it seems to have had some kind of malfunction and wants your help. A quick bit of decryption later, or a message to the owner of the freighter, and you will be tasked with flying out there, finding out what's gone wrong, seeing if you can fix it, and getting that freighter on its way. And before long, you will be flying over, docking with this dark freighter out in the depths of space, and climbing aboard to have a little poke around. Okay, right here, big cargo ship floating mysteriously in the depths of space. We have to go aboard and figure out what went wrong with it, and all of the lights are off and it's kind of spooky. This is my kind of sci-fi right here. I'm totally in for this already. The first couple of encounters on this adventure are really well balanced, really well laid out, and scary as hell if you are inclined to run them like that. Like, if you want to do this, you can really give a kind of alien vibe to your players during these initial bits. But fear is not the only emotion that Precious Cargo wants you to experience. This adventure wants to take you on a journey that you will not be prepared for when you start it, that you will not expect. And there are a number of things that you will experience as you travel around the cargo ship that calls itself Avid Dreamer. What starts off as a kind of scary space horror rapidly turns into this far more complex story. It ends up being a story about loneliness, about romance, about emptiness, about the nature of existence and life itself. It really does touch on all of these sort of things. It is unlike any Starfinder adventure that I have played before. I'm not going to tell you anything about the story of what happens in the second half of Precious Cargo, because I really do want you to play it for yourself and experience it. So let me just tell you a little bit about the nuts and bolts of it. The encounters are interesting and well balanced and have multiple solutions the way you do it. You can play this adventure in so many different ways. The setting keeps you guessing all the way through it and will surprise you at the end, even if you think you know where it's going. The handouts are honestly some of the best handouts that I have ever read in a Paizo adventure. They are so well written. In terms of criticisms, honestly, I don't have very many. Maybe the map choices could be a little bit better. They seem a little rushed in there, but I mean, given how much pressure we know editorial was under around the time this adventure was made, that is fairly understandable. From my point of view, if you've got a longer corridor map, you're probably going to get a bit more mileage out of the corridor encounter in that. That's all I'll say on it. That's just me, though. One nice thing, it's one of those adventures where if you buy it on Paizo.com, then you're going to get a download of some JPEGs of a couple of the original maps for it. So that saves you a little bit of pulling stuff out of PDF. So that's a nice touch. I think it's probably fairly clear by now that I like Precious Cargo a lot. In fact, I'm going to go out and say that I think this might be my favorite introductory Starfinder adventure of all time. This is what I'm going to use to show people Starfinder from now on. That's how much I like it. If you're a Starfinder player, go and play this adventure. Go and play it right now. Call your GM up, get them out of the bath, tell them to go and run this game for you, because it's really, really fun. And if you're a gaming company, my goodness, go and hire Diego Valdez immediately to write adventures for you, because there is a colossal talent there. And speaking personally, I would like more adventures as soon as possible, please. There's a link in the video description to his website if you want to give him a call. I'll leave you with one final thought on Precious Cargo, and I think it's my favourite thing about the whole adventure. The last few months have been absolutely crazy for our industry. A lot of people have been feeling angry and scared and helpless. And in the middle of it all, in the build-up to it, one of the people who was right at the center of that whole situation wrote an adventure that was about all of those emotions. But more than any of them, more than all of it, he wrote an adventure that is about love. And it's brilliant. Go play it. Thanks very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please stick around at the end of the video. In just a second, we've got a clip of the main Danger Club podcast itself where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It's really, really good. That's not just me saying it. Watch the clip. Watch the clip. It's going to be really, really good. And if you enjoyed the review, tell us in the comments below. Tell us if you've played this adventure. Give us a subscribe, ring the bell, all of that stuff. Help us to keep making these videos, because I've really missed doing them and I can't wait to make more of them. Until next time, I have been the Dungeon Master, wishing you to stay safe and stay dangerous. Bye-bye, everyone.
We should probably move that cart in front of this window so there are no children in the... Because children are known to work at the smelters. So
there's lots of children that work in the smeltings?
Hey! Because they've got small hands to get into the smelting.
Just write a note with some cheese, man.
Are you suggesting that the dwarves use children to use their hands to move smelted metal?
No, that would be cruel.
Oh, yeah, go on, Ross. Double down on this and change Pathfinder law. Go on.
They wear gloves.
Gloves.
Hey.
What are they made out of?
Mithril.
My goodness.
I'm setting
Children.
up all this Pathfinder lore. Here we go.
How is the Forge doing this month? Well, sir, our employee costs are down tremendously from using children, but unfortunately, we have equipped all of them with gloves that are so expensive you could buy a kingdom. Oh, but Forge doors do have fire resistance, so actually that does scan, so, official law.
Oh, yeah.